Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Jake from All Arsenal, and today we're going to be previewing the big game between 1st and 4th, the two undefeated teams in the EPL at the moment, after 6 games, Chelsea and Arsenal. So last time they played it was at Stamford Bridge, and it was basically the worst game that Arsenal could have been involved in, apart from the 8-2 against Manchester United a few years ago. It finished 6-0. 6-0. I think it was 4-0 at halftime, and by that point I just went back to bed because it was a 2 AM game in Australia, and what's the point in watching a performance such as that? Since then, we've gone on to sign a few players, being Chambers, Debuchy, but most notably Alexis Sanchez and Danny Welbeck, and obviously a spinner we've signed as well. But the main two, being Sanchez and Welbeck, we saw in midweek, and you can watch my review of that and how happy I was with that performance, that they showed the cutting edge that we've lacked for so long. Last year at this point we had Theo Walcott, who was out, Chamberlain was kind of on the fringe, Wenger seemed not to really play him too much as opposed to this year, which is great, and Giroud was playing well, but obviously didn't get in behind defenders like a Welbeck. Like, the fact that we scored easy goals for once was incredible. Usually we have to fight for our goals, we have to cross until Giroud gets in the right position, and then hope that in fact he actually headers it in. With this, pass it in front of Danny, he'll use his strength, he'll use his pace, and he uses, as he did against Galatasaray, his finishing capabilities to destroy the opposition. And with Sanchez on the left and Chamberlain on the right, I really do feel that we can push Chelsea on the attack, particularly on the counter-attack, because we're going to have to absorb some serious pressure, because it's their home ground. They are the top dog at the moment, undefeated with 5 wins and a draw, and they're just flying. They've got Fabregas, setting up assists at will, and then they've got Costa scoring goals at will as a result. So we're going to have to stop Fabregas. And I think the one thing we're going to have to do with Fabregas is make sure he doesn't turn on the ball, because when he gets it, he rarely continues to go in the same path. If you've watched Chelsea this year, he gets the ball and he turns. He goes the opposite direction to where he receives it, and there's a lot of open space. They all know that he's going to do the turn, and they push to that side. So we're going to have to stop that. It's not about dispossessing Fabregas, it's about giving him less time to make a decision, because when players like him, players that are gifted like him, get time, they're going to destroy, they're going to pick their passes out. And we know this better than anyone, because he's done that for us for many years. So that's the one thing we're going to stop. And just man-mark Costa. He doesn't have a lot of pace, he's got a big presence, so we're going to have to make sure that we get numbers behind the ball when they're on the attack, which we've lacked recently. And even against Galatasaray, we pushed up and we got away with it, but against Chelsea we're not going to be able to do that. Gibbs is going to have to really play a part, and whoever's on the right, Chambers most likely is going to really have to not push forward like he did against Galatasaray. So, and it's good with Chambers there. He's got the height, so when they cross it into Costa, we've got Mertesacker, Koscielny, Chambers there, 3 over 6 foot to handle him. So it's going to really be a team effort. Going with the lineups, I would keep it pretty much the same as the midweek game. Jack, I'm pretty sure, should stay on the bench. I loved having Cazorla in that kind of just that playmaker but drops deep role. Just the box to box. He's got the endurance. He played the Ramsey role, and I think it's fair to say that he played it better than Ramsey has so far this year. So we've lost Ramsey, but we've discovered that Cazorla can play this role and play it exceptionally well, so I would continue to go with that. Flamini, we're just going to have to deal with it. We're not going to really, I don't think we're going to put Chambers there, because otherwise we've only got Bellerin. But so far, it's worked out against Galatasaray. So it's really going to be a tough game, guys. I'm not going to ignore that. Chelsea at home is always a daunting prospect, no matter what sort of form you're in, but I'm really glad that Welbeck got his hat-trick and Sanchez got his goal, and Ozil, which I haven't mentioned yet, has picked up some form. So it's really about staying very, very condensed at the back and not spreading out, because they will open you up, particularly Fabregas with his through balls, and Hazard trying to get him behind the defence and then crossing it into Costa. But It's really about kind of playing it quite defensively, but then when we get the ball, to move it quick, to give it to Sanchez, to give it to Chamberlain, making sure that we're looking out for Welbeck and his runs, just as we did in midweek. That's the way to get it. We're going to have to get them on the counter, get them one goal, and then we can go from there. As long as we get the first goal, guys, we've got a big chance of getting something out of this game. If we concede the first, like we've done for many years against the big teams, it's going to be a tough game. But so far, we've gone behind against the champions, against Everton 2-0, and we've come back and we've gotten something from it. So I have faith that this team is different to a lot of other teams that we've had recently, and they're going to fight for these points, and they're going to really show some guts on the weekend. So let's support them as much as we can, no matter what the result, because we love this team, and I've really got high hopes for them against Chelsea and for the rest of the season. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more. I'll have the review of the game coming up after the game, and obviously obviously comment below what you think, how you think the game's going to go. Your score predictions. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win to Arsenal. I'm hoping that we can do what Chelsea did against City and park the bus and then hit them on the counter. We'll have to wait and see. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Have a good weekend.